Hey guys, how you doing? In this video, I want to show you how you can predict reversals like these and go in for a big move with a very small stop loss, and how you can do all of that in real time with professional level trading software. All right, let's get right into it. So you can see right here that this level was there we go, was the high of the pre-market session. So we know that there is most likely a level of interest. Now, what is a level of interest? A level of interest is nothing else than, hey, we now want to see what's going on inside the market, because two things can happen. Either the market can push through and break out, or it can reverse. Okay, these are the two most basic options that can happen in the market. So we want to see what's going on inside these candles to predict either a reversal or a breakout. Okay, so let's go to the replay function and see exactly what's going on and how many clues we can find that a reversal is more likely than a breakout. Okay, so the market opened right here. What can we see? We can see that the volume profile is a B profile, which is kind of bullish at first. Okay, a B volume profile means the market wants to move up. So we can see the market opened here, went up, collected some volume, traded some good contracts here, and boop, we broke out and had another high of day. This right here at the 403, roughly we know is our level of interest. Kind of always know the markets move in ranges. There's no exact price level. So as long as we enter this area of interest, can also be above, or obviously, we then want to see what's going on inside the markets. If we're down here, no, we don't want to go into the charts at that moment. However, if we get close to this level, that's where it gets interesting. But we see another few things. What can we see? We can see that while we move up to that level, this move is kind of extended, right? Look at this move, for example, here. This move all the way up here was also extended. And what happened? Well, the market basically stayed in that range, but it didn't move up any further at that moment, okay? Same here. The market goes up, 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 up. And now we know, okay, previously, this move seemed to be a bit extended. We have the same range basically, so we can kind of expect something might happen very soon. Now at that moment, we are very close to our level of interest. We now want to switch over to Bookmap. Now, what is Bookmap? Bookmap is basically our tool that lets us see inside these candles. And we can see here 948, it's the exact same situation. And now we want to see, okay, what's going on inside these candles? What's happening? And can we predict either a breakout or reversal? And let's see what's happening. So this is a replay function, so we can zoom in and zoom out of this situation as much as we want. And for now, we can see that every minute or every bar here is basically 1 minute. We can see selling, these are the red dots. We can see buying, these are the green dots, obviously. And we can see that the market is just moving up, 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 up all the way. Okay, what else can we see? Well, we can see that there's liquidity here, and liquidity here. And what is liquidity? It's basically, in this case, because it's above the current price, passive sellers who want to sell at this exact position or price level. Same here, same here. We can also see that there is no real interest in trading down here, because liquidity always translates into trading interest. So if we see that there's a bunch of interest in trading up here because we see liquidity, then it's not really likely that the market is going to reverse. However, it's not likely, I'm sorry. However, if we see there's a bunch of liquidity up here, usually that would indicate, hey, a breakout is about to happen. But why didn't it happen at this time? Let's play. We can see for now that the market is moving up. Here we see something very interesting. We see that we move into our level of interest right here, boop, with an extended move. Bad auction quality. What is auction quality? Well, it's basically only buying coming in without any selling coming in. The market doesn't like anomalies. What is an anomaly? Well, look at this. This is a good auction quality. Buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers. And then we see this, an anomaly. So basically, we see that this is not normal. This is not supposed to happen. This is a move that is not healthy. And if we see this, we have our first clue that, hey, maybe something is about to happen. Let's check. Then we can also see that right now, for some reason, the market doesn't like to trade here anymore, right? Because look at all these bubbles here, here, all of this trading. And then suddenly we get into a level of interest, yet there's no more trading anymore. It's just lines, no more bubbles. Very interesting. Second clue in terms of the order flow. So now we already have quite a few clues. We know that we are at a level of interest. We know we are going there with an overextended move. What else do we know? We know that here we had bad auction quality, and we can now see, very interesting, that we don't want to trade here any further. And now what else can we see? We can see that this liquidity here just went out. So the sellers who wanted to sell here previously, they don't want to trade here anymore. So there's no level of interest in trading all the way up here anymore. Very interesting. So let's keep watching. We can see selling coming in, selling coming in, selling coming in, and the selling is moving the market lower. However, we do not want to enter right here. Why? Because the market broke this low with bad auction quality again. So we don't want to get in here, all right? And if we zoom in a bit further, we can see that there's some buying here, but this buying is not moving the market any higher. However, the selling, boop, 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 it's moving the market lower. So we now want to see that the market is moving downwards with a few things. We can see here again, liquidity gets pulled out. That's not a good sign. That's not a sign for a breakthrough. Very, very interesting. However, now we still don't see any liquidity down here. So we just wait for now, all right? And now something interesting happens. I'll go back for you in just a minute. We see that speed is picking up down here. We can see that speed, auction speed, how many contracts are being traded per minute, per second, whatever time frame you want to use, is picking up, which is a sign for a breakthrough to either direction. So if we have high auction speed at this moment, or at this level of interest, we know that a breakthrough is most likely going to happen to the upside, to the higher levels, higher levels up here. However, if we see that auction speed is picking up down here, we can kind of see, or we can kind of predict, hey, the market is most likely going to move lower at this moment. I'll go back to for you, so you can see exactly what I mean. Look at how many changes in price you can see per minute, per millisecond, whatever it is, and how many contracts are being traded at that exact moment. It's kind of slow, slow, slow. And then watch what's going to happen very soon. You can see how it's picking up. See, speed is picking up. Speed is picking up. Very interesting. All right. Now, see how it just stood there for like a second? That's very low speed. We do not want to see this when we want to trade a breakout. We only want to see this if we want to trade a reversal, which we now at this moment want to trade. We can also see liquidity is moving lower, another bearish sign. And we can see the trend is just moving lower here, lower lows and lower highs. And even though we have some buying here, the buying is not moving the market up any further. So now we just want to see that this level gets broken through with high speed, good auction quality, and all of those things combined. And once it does, we want to enter for a trade. Now wait, no more buying coming in. See how little these buying dots are right now. They get smaller. Look at how big this buying bubble was before and just how small they are at this moment. No more buying interest. Very interesting. And now we wait. Selling is coming in. See here, there was previous interest in trading. There was buying here. Now we see no more buying here. Interesting. So now we wait. We want to see that the market is now pushing through to the low side. Absorption. Lots of buying coming in, yet the market doesn't move up any further. Interesting. Okay. So many clues right now that a reversal is going to happen at this level. And there we go. Vroom. A big move to the downside. Now, what do we want to do? We want to enter our position somewhere, if possible, up here. Yet in this case, because it was quite fast, we just want to wait for a pullback. We place our position somewhere here. We just wait for it. There we go. We get picked up. So now what do? We are in our position now. Where do we place our stop loss? Where do we place our take profit? Well, since we know that liquidity acts like a magnet to the market, kind of, we want to minimize our risk that this magnet here gets taken out and that we lose, that we get taken out of our position. So we now want to place our stop loss right above this previous level of liquidity, maybe even above this. However, this liquidity is probably not real. So I can move the stop loss a bit, just a tiny bit above this range. Now, in terms of take profit, where do we want to go? We can see that we are now in a level of low volume. Low volume is great because the market tends to push through this level quite quickly. So we want to see a fast move happening, and we want to see, okay, where can we expect some resistance at least? To be fair, I expect some resistance at this level here because there was previous liquidity. And so in terms of that, I just want to place my stop loss right here. And we have a nice about, I would say, 2-to-1 or 1-to-1.5 risk to reward ratio. So now we just wait. We zoom in a bit again. And then we want to actively manage this trade. We see all of this selling coming in. That's a great sign. Great, great sign. Small pullback. And now if this level breaks even further, we might scale into our position because we seem to be right. Because there's so much selling coming in that the market definitely tells us, hey, this is going to break through quite a bit. However, for now, the auction speed is not that high. However, the auction quality is quite good. It's not too fast, so we just wait. If we zoom in, there's buying and selling, as you can see, obviously. Auction quality is perfect right now. So if we move lower, liquidity is down here, we might want to scale into our position. Speed is coming in. I enter for another position. Stop loss now above this range. Here we can see liquidity. So that's our new level of interest for now. I now want to move my stop right above this volume area right here because it also acts like a level of resistance. And now we just want to see what's happening. Move my stop here. And now we just either want to see us getting taken out here or there. Both is fine because we scaled into our position. Very nice trade already. And there we most likely will get taken out. No, we didn't. Perfect. And that's exactly how you predict a perfect take profit. The market now might move a bit further. However, see this absorption right here, right? Absorption. You do not want to see an absorption while you are in a trade, okay? If you see a big absorption and the market just doesn't move any further, you get out of your position. Very interesting. And now you see all this buying coming in. Get out of your position at that moment. You do not want to see this, okay? If you see an absorption followed by buying coming in, you get out of your position. So no matter if we got out here or there, we would have gotten out at this exact moment. And that's how you can predict a pretty nice reversal trade within a matter of minutes, have very good risk reward ratios, and just predict what the market's going to do next very, very easily, actually. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a link in the video description where you can apply to start trading with my strategies. Nonetheless, I wish you a great day, good trading, some nice profits, and I'll see you in the next video.